You are listening to Right Off the Bus.
So our next guest on Under the Radar has been a good friend of mine since we were little, Nick Lachney. He's one of the managers for the St. John's women's basketball team. He's been with the team 4 years now. His entire college career, he's been working full-time on the women's team there. And despite COVID-19, he and the team, they're still playing and practicing in full swing. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Nick. We're excited to have you on, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I've been pumped about it since you let me know. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like we do on this show, we want to highlight everybody in the sports world. So, like we said, Nick is a manager for the St. John's women's basketball team. We're going to talk about that. But Nick, just starting off, what's the day in the life of a college basketball manager? Are you shagging rebounds, setting up drills, cutting tape, watching film, scoreboard operator at practice? What's going on in one of your days?
It's a little bit of all of that. I mean, everyone's got a role for sure. We have a group of 5 of us here right now. Luckily, with COVID, that we still been able to get everybody back and into the swing of things. Someone has a role. We have people that cut film. Like I personally do the shot clock operation in practice. Make sure we got a practice plan. Make sure the right drills are happening at the right time. Some people are on the court shagging balls, setting up drills, and everyone's got a role. And if everyone does what they're supposed to do, practice runs smoothly. But at the same time, it's the other day, we got some cones missing on the court, and that's a big scene. I mean, go. So yeah, it is. As it is. We're the team behind the team in a sense. So if we're doing what we're supposed to do, it makes the team that gets on the court and puts the balls in the hoop, it makes their life easier.
Takes a village, man. It takes a village.
Yeah, so you got to do a little bit of everything. And has any of that changed as a result of the pandemic, or what are some of the bigger changes to your job as a result of the pandemic this past year?
Yeah, 100%. We so when I first came back here this summer, usually we're here the entire summer, but then I didn't get to come back here until around August when me and just one of our other managers came back. It was just 2 of us down from 7 that we ended last year with. So now it's 2 of us trying to do everything that the 7 people did before. It's a big difference. I mean, you kind of pick up new roles and you run around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to get help from different people. Luckily, everyone that we've been working with has been really helpful. Everyone's trying to lend a hand everywhere possible. We slowly got to add more people back to our group. And now, like I said, we're at full strength, which is great. And of course, we all enjoy being around each other. So everyone being able to be back in the building is huge. One of the biggest differences, and it seems so small, but you kind of forget about it, is wearing gloves while you're touching the basketballs. And you try to, a ball rolls off the court, you just run and grab it. You got to get gloves on, sanitizing, wash the balls down. Everything gets sanitized after being touched. It's a lot, but it's good. I mean, we've been lucky. We've only been shut down for COVID once compared to some programs that have been shut down numerous times. So clearly what we're doing is working, and hopefully we can keep that up through the rest of the season.
That's fantastic. So what's your relationship like with the players on the team, with the coaches on the team, other managers, even the AD? What's the relationship from the managers to the rest of the program?
We're definitely like a big family here, and I can't stress that enough. Like, really, since I started here 4 years ago, everyone's been as great as can be. We're friends with the players, the coaches. Everyone respects us and appreciates what we do for the program. And whereas, like we said, it takes a village to get what we do done. We all have a role, and if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then it's not going to run smoothly. And everyone realizes that, and what we do is very important. They're, like I said, the other managers are some of my good friends. We hang out outside of work. We hang out in work. It makes working fun. And same with the players. And you can joke around with them, but also have their back when they need it during games. And it's nice to have somebody that you can trust in with you all the time. We're the same age as these players. We're in this basically similar situations. Just one of us is playing and the other one's making sure that your bottle's cooled for you or something like that. But it makes a difference. So especially, I think the biggest time we see that is on the road. We're on the road. There's whatever it is, 30 of us in the travel party. We eat all our meals together. We go to games together. And then especially when we go to like Thanksgiving trips, they're long 7-day trips. We eat every meal. We have holidays together, and it's a big family. It's great. I can't complain about anything.
That's true, man. I haven't seen you around the holidays a couple times in the past few years. You're always with the team. That's basketball season. That's what it is. And talking about some of those trips, can you talk about some of the most underrated college basketball arenas that you've been to? Because you get to do a lot of traveling with the team.
Yeah, of course. The Big East has got some of the best arenas in sports, I think. Especially, I mean, for us, in men's basketball, they play a lot of NBA arenas. So it's nice for us. We play on campus for every one of our games, actually. We play every game on campus. And you see a lot of these older gyms, or a lot of them have beautiful gyms on campus. I mean, the one that stands out to me the most is Villanova's. The Finneran Pavilion is the best arena I've played in, or worked in, rather. And that place is absolutely amazing. They got crazy lights and everything. It's beautiful. But that's what winning a national championship will get you. We got Cintas Center at Xavier's great, and I mean nothing beats playing at home. Carnesecca Arena is the favorite place to have a game. You can't. Is having the fans. We missed the fans this year, but it's nothing like it. We're here every day. It's a second home, and that's my favorite place. Can't beat it.
And outside of those trips, and I mean, just besides going to arenas and the other Big East teams, how about some of the trips that you've joined the team on that maybe, people don't understand are actually a part of the job and part of that commitment? Like I know you went to Las Vegas and the Virgin Islands. So could you talk about those a little bit?
Those trips are easily the best. It's a shame we didn't get to do one of those this year because those are times, like I mentioned, the whole family atmosphere. You're with these teams for 5 days. These players and coaches, you're with them 5 days. You spend Thanksgiving together. Like in Las Vegas, we went to I'm blanking on his name right now. The big magician in Las Vegas.
David Blaine.
No, not him. I don't remember what his name is.
It's all good.
But
Penn and Teller?
No, not him either.
We'll pass it.
But yeah, so we get to go. We spent all this time together, and especially like Las Vegas. I've never been to Las Vegas before until that trip, so it was really cool to like see Vegas on. Of course, we didn't do too well over there, but you get to see a nice arena there where the NBA G League, Summer League is held. So we've plays where you've seen that on TV, and now you get to go play there and be in the same locker rooms. And I mean, the Virgin Islands is the craziest trip I've been on. Nothing beats that. Best experience I've had here at St. John's. We go over the Virgin Islands, take a small little plane over there, land on a runway where you walk out and you see the sunset over the water, and it's just beautiful. I mean, St. Thomas rather, in the Virgin Islands was hit by a hurricane right before we went over there. It was right in that past summer. A lot of the area was destroyed. It was sad to see. But we got to go over there and play basketball and bring joy to a lot of these people's days, get to see people that just loved it, thought their place was the most beautiful place in the world, put people to work. And it was fun for us, but you could tell it was just as fun for these other teams, other people there rather. Sorry, other people working and get to see people having a great time. And so yeah, maybe it's dark right now, but there was some positivity when you step in that gym and there were people playing their asses off on some basketball.
And were those trips mostly preseason, or were they mid-season? When do those trips typically take place? Is it more just like a team bonding thing?
No, these are non-conference games. They happen around Thanksgiving time. I always say Thanksgiving is the biggest weekend for non-conference basketball. A lot of teams do trips like this. So like when we went to the Virgin Islands, we played Ole Miss, Purdue, and UConn. Big name teams over there. It's the Paradise Jam is one of the biggest tournaments that I know of anyway. I'm pretty sure that's one of the biggest ones. A lot of big name teams over there.
Reminds me of the Maui Jim Maui tournament that always happens in Hawaii.
Exactly. Yeah. Very similar to that. Very similar. Same idea. Big teams. And it makes a difference, especially when it comes for tournament time and you get your resume. Of course, you have your conference teams, but to play good teams in non-conference is huge because that's so beneficial when it comes time when you're looking at resumes and saying who beat who. Sure, you may have beat everybody in your conference, but let's see, how do you play on these other teams that, like your UConn, who's ranked, and that team was a Final Four team that year. We almost had them there, but still a close loss to them looks really good when it comes time to looking at tournament bids.
And have you experienced those big tournaments as well? Like I know probably the NIT, but has the team been to March Madness while you've been there?
Unfortunately not. I like to say we would have been in last year. We were right on the bubble. We had a bad loss towards the end of the season, but we also had some good wins. And I feel like we were right there. Unfortunately, we'll never know for sure thanks to COVID. But I definitely, hopefully, this year it's not looking too great, which is definitely unfortunate. But it is what it is. I mean, we've had some, like I said, those big games over in the Virgin Islands and stuff. Almost comparable. We knocked off Marquette, who was number 9 in the country 2 years ago, back at our place in a pretty packed crowd. So that was a great time. But unfortunately, no March Madness. No March Madness.
And what was the experience like with the NIT? I mean, I'm not sure when the team had made that, but where was it hosted and how was that going for that? Yeah. Obviously it's big tournament time. Yeah,
of course. So the WNIT is actually, until this year, I just learned it right before we came in here. It's usually a 64-team tournament, unlike the men who are just 32 teams. So we were in that. We were one of the top seeds in that year. That was my freshman year. We were one of the top seeds. We just missed out on March Madness. So playing that tournament. That tournament is held at your home arena, so we had 3 teams come to us before that. And I honestly can't tell you who they were, but they were not very good teams. We out of the water. We had one close game later. I don't remember who it was. Again, we beat them. Traveled to West Virginia on a bus trip the day after winning, got on a bus, drove 8 hours to West Virginia, and they ended up beating us and went on to win the entire tournament. But it was West Virginia was a cool place. Place that Bob Huggins built it right there. It's beautiful.
Bob Huggins did a lot of good things for that basketball program over there. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So when you're not in the Virgin Islands or Las Vegas or West Virginia or Chicago, yeah, how are you balancing that student coursework versus your actual job? Because you travel a lot with the team. And Nick, obviously, from being good friends with you, I know you're a student athlete at St. John's. You get to pick classes with the athletes. You get a couple of those perks. So can you talk about how that dynamic works?
Yeah, it is. It's funny to say. My brother always gives me crap for saying that I'm a student athlete, but it really is. St. John's takes care of us just like they do their other athletes. We get the gear, we get the help in academics, we get early class selections, classes to work around our schedules, easier professors, and I mean, you still got to do the work. I mean, it all sounds great, but you got to get your stuff done. If you don't get your stuff done, they're not bringing you back as a manager. They're not giving you your scholarship. So it isn't very important. It is. We definitely get a little bit of leeway and a lot of help to make sure that we get our stuff done, but it is. I mean, academics still comes first. You're a student athlete, not an athlete student.
I love that saying. I love that.
Yeah, that's well said.
So I know there are some pretty intense manager basketball games, mostly because my man from Duke, Jay Belis, always talks about how when he's covering a game, he likes to go watch the managers at Duke and UNC or Kentucky and Tennessee going at it. Can you talk about those manager games that go on before big games? And I know you have some friends that are managers for the men's team as well, so they have that experience too.
Well, unfortunately for us, I haven't played a manager game. It's not as big in women's hoops as it is in men's basketball. I love my women's hoops, but that's the one thing that I wish we had over here. However, I got all my friends work for the men's team. I live with like almost all of them. And my buddy Teddy, John Martinez, shout out him. He was on the team to Duke a few years back when Zion and Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, all those guys were on the team. They're playing Duke in their practice facility there, and they're playing whatever. And he said he bangs a three and he turns around and there's Zion Williamson behind him, just telling his managers to get back on defense. Like, he just started like, man, that's Zion Williamson right there.
Zion probably wanted to hop in the game so bad.
Yeah, no, 100%. But that is cool. I mean, like I said, they got manager games on Twitter. They do power rankings. They do tournaments. When it comes tournament time, those teams that go to the tournament play each other, and it's a big deal. Those guys take it seriously. They get the managers, the director of basketball ops, grad assistants, or anyone on the coaching staff, the ones that jump in and play. Come play. Let's see who can grind it out.
St. John's needs to let Chris Mullen hop in there.
Right, back in the day.
Yeah. Him and Mitch would have been a good duo to toss in there.
From what I heard, Greg St. Jean, now with the Lakers, was a big manager game guy. It was all about it. Like I said, I don't know for sure, but that's what was always said, that Coach St. Jean was all about the manager games. That's what he lived for.
Yeah, and you told me he's now an assistant coach or strength coach with the Lakers or something?
He's an assistant coach of the Lakers now. He was in that second row on the bench. You get pictures of him holding the trophies up in the hallways. It was a big thing for him. It's great for the school. One of their other GAs was also with the Lakers. A guy that was here before I was here, is with the Lakers as well. So it's great for those guys over there to say, get big roles in the NBA. We got another guy that worked for the men's team with the Bucks. So it's definitely it's awesome to see these guys that I work so closely with. They're not on my staff, but it's still like we work together every day. Seeing them get these big roles, because for me, it's right around the corner. So it's nice to know these guys for sure.
We need to get you on that St. John's to Lakers pipeline, man. We need to get you on there.
I'll give the Boston Celtics. Unless if the Lakers give me a call, I'll answer. I don't want.
Yeah, is there a dream job that's a goal there? I mean, to be an NBA equipment manager, or college assistant coach, a grad assistant.
NBA job to me, I think is the coolest job in the world. I met a lot of guys on LinkedIn over the summer that held a roundtable. The equipment manager from the Nets actually ran a roundtable group on LinkedIn where we went into Zoom calls and we talk about different topics, and we have someone lead it and people would ask questions. You can just learn about like what these guys would do on the day to day. I think that guy has the coolest job in the world. That's like my dream job. He deals with all their equipment, does their travel. And I just think like those two things just interest me completely. Equipment is my favorite thing. I think it's really cool. You get to basically pick what these players wear on the court, going to games, everything. And you're in complete control of it to a sense. So of course it comes great. What's the line?
Responsibility.
Yeah, with great control comes great responsibility. So when you got to give them something good. And those pictures come out and they're wearing something ugly. It's not your fault too. But yeah, I just think that's a great gig. I mean, the travel is such a big part of it as well. You got to figure out what you're going to eat each day, where you're going to stay, how you're going to get from place to place, where the bus is coming at what time, bringing you where, what time shoot around, what time's practice. And it's a lot, but I just think it's very interesting, the logistics behind it. It's a tough job, but it's one that I'd love to have one day.
Yeah, obviously it's an awesome experience getting to see Division I athletics like that, that up and close, because not many people do. But overall, what are some of your favorite moments from maybe the past few seasons, or specifically this past season, this current one?
This season it hasn't been a great season for us so far. We've lost a lot of tight games. It has been fun. One of our players, Lachney, has been absolutely phenomenal. She scored 30 points in the last 3 games for us. She won Big East Player of the Week last week. And she's a beast, man. She's an absolute beast. So hopefully if she can keep that up, she's only a sophomore, so this team can go great places with her scoring like that. So I mean, that from a player standpoint, we had a couple close games, some comebacks. Unfortunately, fell short a couple times. So I can't say it's been a season full of wins, but definitely moments where we've been like, okay, the next few years we can really have something going again. It's just a down year, and that's what happens. And it's basketball. COVID takes a hit, and it's hard. It's hard.
It ebbs and flows, man. It ebbs and flows.
Of course. One thing I will mention, UConn, we played them the other day. That team is legit. They the number 1 team in the country yesterday. Paige Becker's their best player, scored 30 points per game in the last 3 games. Started off beating us last Wednesday with 32 points. Absolutely phenomenal. Should be the locker number 1 pick in the draft 4 years from now, which is insane.
Yeah, what's crazy is she's probably going to – because you and I were talking about this before we got on, Nick. This girl is going to end up with 4 national championships probably. Whatever division UConn is in. Is it the Big East?
Yep, they just came back to the Big East this year.
So she's going to get 4 Big East Players of the Year like Brianna Stewart did. She's going to be the number 1 pick. Like, she's the first UConn player to ever have 3 straight 30-point games. I could just go here and list all the great UConn basketball players for the next hour. Tina Charles, Maya Moore,
Rebecca Lobo, Diana Taurasi, and her. Like, yeah, that's a pretty great trio to be in.
Tina Charles, like Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart. The list is ridiculous, and what she's doing is pretty incredible, especially from the point guard position.
I will mention that being at Gamble the other day, that place is phenomenal. That was the first college basketball game I ever went to there. It's like, I think it was 8 years ago. I found out UConn the year they won the national championship. I went there. They lost to SMU, which is hilarious because they won the national championship. But it was funny being back there, and you walk in and I was sitting up there 8 years ago, and now I'm on the floor here working a game. It was pretty neat. That place has got some memorable people up there. You got the big Ray Allen banner, but you also got your other guys, Kemba and Rudy Gay, and just to name a few. And then the girls we played in the Virgin Islands, Nafisha Collier and Katie Lou Samuelson, are both in the league now. It's a pretty remarkable place with some great accolades hanging up, and a lot to see and learn from in there.
Hey man, you said to me before we started off, this is the best job out there, man. You absolutely love it. It's been a lot of fun having you on, Nick. We really appreciate you coming on. I don't know if you want to tell people what's going on with you or the team or whatever you want to do. The floor is yours before we sign off.
Of course, we got a big game Wednesday night against DePaul, number 20 in the country. Fox Sports 2, our last nationally televised game of the season. Hopefully we can pull off the upset. Check me out at Nick Lachney on Instagram. Check the team out at St. John's WBB. And we got hopefully a lot to come with some big wins coming in the future.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, thanks again for coming on, Nick.
Of course, anytime. Appreciate you having me.